Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Sunday, the 26th of Muharram, 1448, the 12th of July, 2026. This Majlis took place at the residence of Hazrat Wala in Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India. Our Hazrat Wala is saying that I continuously recite articles, beneficial extracts from this kitab. Allah Ta'ala let this silsila and this pattern of us gathering here and reading, listening, speaking, Allah Ta'ala let this be continuous. I am busy, occupied, but I take out time for this year specifically so that I can make myself listen to this. Apne liye sunata ho, for myself. And Allah Ta'ala make these talks common and put maximum benefit in it. So here our Hazrat Wala is reading the article of the occasion when Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an comes to Basra. So he enters the Jama Masjid and he finds people in the different corners of the Jama Masjid giving bayan. So he summons them and he asks them to leave. Hatta ja'a ila al-Hasan al-Basri radiyallahu ta'ala an, until he comes to Sayyidina Hasan al-Basri radiyallahu ta'ala an, and he says to him, Ya Fata, O lad, inni sa'iluka an amrin, I want to ask you about something. فَإِنْ أَجَبْتَ عَنْهُ أَبْقِيتُكَ. That listen, if you answer well, I'll allow you to sit, continue sitting. وَإِلَّا أَقَمْتُكَ كَمَا أَقَمْتُ أَصْحَابَكَ. Otherwise, I would ask you to leave like how I asked your companions to leave. وَكَانَ قَدْ رَآ عَلَيْهِ سَمْطًا وَهَدْيًا. And at that time there he noticed much of the signs and effects of piety, rushd and hidayat. فقال الحسن, Sayyidina Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah ta'ala said to him, Sal amma shi'ta, ask as you wish. فقال له علي رضي الله تعالى عن, Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an said to him, ما ملاك الدين, what is the foundation of the deen? So he answered, al-wara', it is Allah consciousness, it is piety, it is pakizgi. And this here is the foundation of this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He then went on to say to him, Fama fasaduddin, what is the point of the destruction of the deen? He said, at-tama'. He said to him, it is greed, it is having hopes in people. He then said to him, concluding, Ijlis, فَمِثْلُكَ مَنْ يَتَكَلَّمُ عَلَى النَّاسِ. The likes of you, sit, you continue sitting. The likes of you should actually advise people. Now, because of this greed and having hopes in people, even the avenues of deen for a person then close upon him. Now Hazrat Tanwi's amal was also on this. It is his kitab, he translated it. Now Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib's entire life was upon these usul and these principles. Taqwa and the abandoning of tama', hirs and having hopes in people. Now Allah Ta'ala give me the tawfiq of explaining this here well to you people. It is a short and concise kitab, but it is rather proves to be very, very beneficial. Hazrat Haji Imdadullah instructed Hazrat Tanwi to translate this particular kitab. So we should have no hopes and type of greed within our hearts regarding any type of dunyawi cheese, worldly commodity or thing. Hazrat Tanwi used to reprimand, make islah, correct, regarding this type of tama' and greed. I heard my Shaykh Abu Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala an saying that I was in the start of my matter and I was at the borders of Iskandariya, and I came to some of those people who actually knew me. So I purchased something from him, one of my needs, for half a dirham. And at that time I thought to myself, I just hope he doesn't take the money from me. فَلَعَلَّهُ لَا يَأْخُذُهُ مِنِّي. I just hope so much that he doesn't take a price. He doesn't take an amount from me. فَهَتِفَ بِي هَاتِفٌ. At that time I heard a calling from the unseen. السَّلَامَةُ فِي الدِّينِ بِتَرْكِ الطَّمَعِ فِي الْمَخْلُوقِينَ. If you want peace, salamati, safety and security regarding your deen, then it lies in abandoning this hopes and this greed that you have towards the makhluk. وَسَمِعَتُهُ. I heard my ustad also saying that صَاحِبُ الطَّمَعِ لَا يَشْبَعُ أَبَدًا. The one who has greed and hopes in the possessions of people will never ever be satiated. Have you not studied the huruf of tama, fa, mim and ain? They are completely empty, they have no dots on them. فَعَلَيْكَ أَيُّهَا الْمُرِيدِ بِرَفْعِ هِمَّتِكَ عَنِ الْخَلْقِ. Therefore, O disciple, O seeker of the truth, turn away your attention from the makhluk and do not become disgraced in front of them regarding the matter of rizq, because the distribution of rizq was even before your coming onto the scene, before you were even created. And at this year, your rizq has been established before you even made your arrival. Listen attentively what some of the mashayikh used to say. أيها الرجل ما قدر لما ضغيك أي يمضغاه فلا بد أي يمضغاه فكله ويحك بعز ولا تأكله بذل. Listen, what has been destined for your teeth, for your molars to chew, definitely it will chew that. Those teeth of yours are definitely going to eat that. You are going to enjoy it. You will chew it. You'll eat it. However, listen. فَكُلْهُ وَيْحَكَ بِعِزٍّ. Eat it with honor. Don't eat it with disgrace. Listen attentively. The person who recognizes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he puts his trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has trust in the promise and the guarantee of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The person who recognizes Allah will put his trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the fahm and the understanding of the servant of Allah will never reach fruition and completion until he does not have more confidence what is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as opposed to what he has present in his own hands immediately. And his fahm and understanding cannot be complete until he does not have confidence in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over the promises of people. And it suffices for you to be an ignorant person if you are not like what we have described above. وَرَأَى بَعْضُهُمْ رَجُلًا يُلَازِمُ الْجَامِعِ. And some people realized and noticed a saintly person who used to always be in the Jama Masjid. He would very seldomly or rarely exit the masjid. So this astonished him that, listen, what does this man do? And he thought in his heart that, listen, where does he eat from? He's all the time in the masjid. This saintly person came to know about the thoughts that this person was bearing and holding against him. Nevertheless, the saintly person says to him one day that, listen, tell me, where do you eat from? So that person then said to him that I have this Yahudi person who has promised me 2 loaves of bread every day, and he comes and he gives it to me. So then he says to him, okay, for yourself, you have put your trust in a Yahudi, and you could not understand that I had my trust in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sadiqul wa'd. He is most truthful in his word, and he never ever breaks his promises. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. There is no creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth except that the rizq and sustaining it is a duty upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَاسْتَحْيَا مِنْهُ ذَلِكَ الرَّجُلُ وَذَهَبْ. He felt totally embarrassed and he left. There's another waqia as well, that there was a person who used to perform salat much behind a certain imam. Nevertheless, that imam then says to him one day the same thing again, and he was quite amazed about himself being so glued to the masjid and himself abandoning these type of asbabs. I mean, this man is behind me all the time. I mean, where does he eat from? Min ayna ta'kul? Listen, where do you eat from? فَقَالَ لَهُ. He said, just hold on for a moment. قِفْ حَتَّى أُعِيدَ صَلَاتِي فَإِنِّي لَا أُصَلِّي خَلْفَ مَنْ شَكَّ فِي اللَّهِ. Just hold it for a moment. I just want to repeat my salats, because I do not wish to perform behind that person who has doubt in Allah. He has doubt in Allah. Now the hikayat and the waqi'at, the incidents of this nature are many. It was said to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, that listen, if a person was jailed, he was put into a chamber, and this year was cemented completely. It was bolted up all 4 round, top and bottom, whatever it is. Tell me, what can you tell me about this person? Min ayna ya'tihi rizqu? Where will his rizq come to him? So Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala answered so beautifully, ya'tihi rizquhu min haythu ya'tihi ajaluh. His rizq will come to him from the same place where his death will come to him from. Allahu Akbar. Now look at these types of proofs, and look at how all of this ta'aleem is brought to us so mudallal and so established from Quran and Hadith. So a person sometimes has so much of thought, so much of worry, and he's making so much of plans in his minds. That how will I do this? How will I do that? I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going to do this. And in all of this, his heart is running from this side to that side. His heart is completely contaminated, so much so that he doesn't even know what he's performed. He doesn't know, is it 2 rakats or 1 rakat, or what am I reading and where am I? He recites Quran. He doesn't even know what he has recited, because his heart has become so contaminated with all this type of thoughts. The nur has been snatched away from him, and all the asrar and secrets will never reach him. Then when this type of thing overwhelms you, these type of thoughts, then take this chopper and axe and destroy all that type of thing. Destroy it completely by bringing true yaqeen in your heart. Know very, very well, rahimakallah, may Allah have mercy on you. Do not make this type of plans, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken responsibility of all of that for you. When you do this from your side, you harm yourself and you disgrace yourself and you prevent the help and the compassion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from reaching you. A mu'min, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not abandon him. Because the demands of his iman is that, and that is the reality. وَكَانَ حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah Ta'ala is saying that it is our duty, it is our responsibility to help the believers. So there are obstacles here. It is that of miserliness and stinginess. And this all originates and comes about because of the weakness of yaqeen and conviction and the weakness of having trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is when these barriers actually become established in a person. It is that of miserliness. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken in the Quran Majid about miserliness and about these abhorrent characteristics. وَمَن يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Whoever has been protected from the miserliness of himself, those are the successful ones. Now the understanding of it is this, that a miserly person, there is no success for him. لَا فَلَاحَ لَهُ لَا فَوْزَ لَهُ. आने वाली किससे टाली जाएगी. This thing that is approaching, this maut and this death, can be not driven away, cannot be averted from anybody else. Jaan tehri jani wali jayegi, jane wali jayegi. The heart stops beating and the soul returns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala protect us and give us salvation from miserliness. And Allah ta'ala bless us with true talab, quest, thirst, desire and enthusiasm of Him, talab for Him. Allah Ta'ala put deep down in us the awsaf hamida. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.